Yo, 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 what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV. We are back with another video, and in this video, we are here to talk about it, man. I'm back with yet another MCU movie review. We have the 2013 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character Thor, produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. Obviously, the sequel of the original Thor, which we reviewed on the channel not too long ago. Obviously, we're kind of coasting along with our whole MCU excursion. We have various spin-offs, we have team-up movies, and we are here again with the second Thor film, which means we still have 2 more movies to go. As much as I am dreading, obviously, Love and Thunder, kind of just off of critical reception. Who knows, maybe I'll like it, I don't know. Ragnarok seems great critically, and I actually don't think I have seen that movie either, which kind of sucks because I think I claim to be a major MCU fan, but I haven't even seen the third Thor movie. I missed 2 of those movies. I'm looking ahead, just really excited to continue on this journey. I mean, this movie is pretty solid. We will get into the nitty-gritty here in a moment. You get the same cast from the original film, basically just replace the ice people with the elves, and I have to say, these villains and all of these legions, factions, whatever you want to call them within these 9 realms, they look fucking badass. They look amazing. We'll get into the character design and all that stuff in a second, but it looks fucking great. There's some good, there's some bad, some things they remedied from the first movie, some things they dragged down from the first movie, so without further ado, let's get into it. So, you know how these videos go. We usually start with the premise, we get into the good, the bad, the okay, give it a review, give it a rating, let's get going. So getting into the premise, just kind of what happens in this movie. So in ancient times, the gods of Asgard fought and won a war against an evil race known as the Dark Elves. That's kind of the beginning of Asgard, so we're taking it even further back from the original film and just to the humble beginnings of Asgard. The survivors were neutralized and their ultimate weapon, the Aether, was buried in a secret location. There's all sorts of different lore, all sorts of mythology that you can kind of look into, and how fucking cool is that movie poster, by the way? Sorry, my fucking drawstring stuck to my shirt. Static electricity, I guess, a little science lesson for you, but there's a lot of lore. I think you can mostly look into mythological books and stuff, like folk tales and stories if you want that. I didn't really care for that too much, but let's keep it moving. Hundreds of years later, Jane Foster, who's obviously Natalie Portman's character, finds the Aether and becomes its host, forcing Thor, who's Chris Hemsworth's character, to bring her to Asgard before Dark Elf Malekith, a new actor brought into this universe, plays Christopher Eccleston. He captures her and uses the weapon to destroy the 9 realms, including Earth, and it's a pretty cool story. Although it has a similar kind of story trajectory, and there are a few differences in the pacing as the first film, there are different things at stake. There are different things to kind of fight for. It's definitely a unique struggle here, which is pretty cool. We even lose a character and even have one of them come back to life, so I would say there are a lot of things in terms of story that this film provides that the original just fails to do so. So enough of the chatter though, we need to get into this because there is a decent amount to talk about. Next, we are going to get into the good, and I mean, for how much I go over aesthetics in these MCU films when I do reviews, I still am quite shocked at some of the world building and the mythological set pieces and just the adaptations and the color palettes that Marvel Studios can create, especially in the mythological world and with the Thor films. This movie looks fucking awesome, dude. It really does. Like, the aesthetic is very unique to any other Thor movie that I know of, but it's crazy, dude. This was unique. I mean, it was fitting how the Dark Elves brought this rusty, dark, dull, kind of metallic, dystopian vibe to the 9 realms and to the world of Thor. It was fucking awesome. It looked very, very good. Loved the sandscape, especially like where there's this fucking orb and there's sand everywhere. This movie looked probably the best I've seen a Marvel movie so far when we've been reviewing these, besides maybe the Avengers movies. I'm sure there's movies later on that are just pure spectacle, especially like Endgame, I already know. But wow, dude, this movie looked awesome, bro. Like the desert, dude. I loved how Asgard looked as well. Somewhat darker in this film, and everything kind of had like a chilling, not the ice people chilling, but you get me. It had like this chilling vibe to it though. The desert, I guess you could call it, looks like something straight out of Elden Ring, which I don't play that game. I've seen people play it, and it looks like something straight out of the game. Such a cool aesthetic. You could sense that something needed reordering and that the universe was in a bad place. The stars were aligning, all this stuff was happening. Just by looking at the scenery, you could just get the vibe of this movie and what this movie was about just by looking at the set pieces, and I think that's a very powerful thing that movie creators do. It's awesome. The Aether is this dark, like Kool-Aid looking stuff, which looks awesome. I mean, this can go without saying. All of the Asgardians looked great as well, just kind of getting into costume design, and even Jane in her little Halloween costume looked cool and almost teased this She-Thor will come soon in this franchise. Obviously still dreading getting into Love and Thunder. I know I've talked about that a couple of times, but kind of dreading that. I think once again they nail it with these villains and different people from within the 9 realms, just how they look, their aesthetic, what they're after. I think it looks awesome, man. Dark Elves are fucking badass. They look so damn cool. They look like they're wearing masks. I guess they are. Either that or that's like a part of their genetic makeup. I don't really know. Whatever it is, it looks insane. Seriously. I think they just keep one-upping themselves because how Malekith looked with the Aether inside of him, like he was like this silver, like dark character. It was awesome, man. One of the best villain designs again in this entire universe. Better than Thanos, better than Lofi, better than all of those guys. It looked awesome, man. The Aether even looked cool when Jane Foster had it, and her eyes would turn black, like full hazel. It looked amazing. She'd have like these outbursts, and like the world would like for a moment. It looked fucking sick. I think also something I want to say that would put this film over the original is just the mythical feel of it and how the story felt more like a folklore and had kind of more of a grander, heroic vibe to it. I said the first film was grand. I don't even know if it comes close to this. This is such a big scale movie and so many things are happening. Characters are dying. There's so much on the line. It was sick, man. I mean, the stakes seemed high. Again, Thor seemed to have more responsibilities despite still not being the king. And the fights almost seemed to have more like passion and intensity to them, which I really enjoyed. I enjoyed watching this movie quite a bit. And the score for this movie isn't going to really justify it again. I do like the original better, I would say, just because it sets it up. I don't know though. I might change my review now that I'm thinking about it. Also, compared to the first film, the pacing was better. That is kind of like a big thing as well. The pacing, no drag at the end. Pretty much just ends with a conversation between Thor and Odin about what had just transpired. And then it is revealed that Loki is still alive and was disguised as Odin, which definitely could set up for some interesting things in this universe. We can kind of get into Loki and that whole thing later. Thor and Loki teaming up in itself also was something I was sort of waiting for the franchise to do. I figured they could have done it in the first movie, but Loki kind of acted like the mischievous, regular Loki that you would see in mythology, but they kind of flip it on its head and they work together here. And that is great. And obviously this is all based on mythology again and things actually told in legend, but still a fun relationship to go through the film with. There's still that brotherly love while also being some uneasiness and tension between Thor and Loki, as Thor doesn't trust the ever so mischievous Loki. Obviously he's always getting in trouble, so there's that as well. One last thing, just kind of getting into Frigga's character, because I think she was pretty major in here. I loved how she got some more screen time in this film. Again, that kind of puts this film over the first one for me, and it actually felt like she mattered, honestly. She went out a hero for Jane. It seemed like she was brought up in conversation more as well as, again, in the film. I like that. I liked Frigga's involvement and a lot of things about this movie. Getting into the bad, crazy enough, there's nothing bad about this movie. Like, I don't have a negative feeling about it. There's some cringy, there's some weird humor here and there. Nothing fucking terrible. The pacing doesn't drag. You know what I mean? I guess I didn't really need multiple post-credit scenes. Maybe that dragged the end a little bit, but at the same time, I don't really hate or not enjoy anything about this film at all. I think most of the stuff is semi to very enjoyable. They did a great job here. Getting into the okay, I will say the humor is just okay. I think the first film has better humor. That probably puts it above this. And obviously the first film sets everything up, starts the character of Thor, so it's kind of hard to beat it. I think the whole situation with Selvig was sort of funny, even though it made no sense. That's kind of a mixed element, what they did with his character, how he was like going insane. I don't really understand why he did that. It was a very weird character decision and a very weird writing decision on their part, because that's a Marvel character. Like all the human characters, Marvel has control. There's no like mythological figure he's based off of or anything. Nothing that really cringes you out about this movie, man. I also didn't laugh at all in this movie, so for humor I would say that it's just kind of there. It's kind of whatever. It's normal Marvel. Marvel's gonna have humor in their movies. That is nothing new at all. Also, Kat Dennings' character of Darcy, I didn't really mind her in the first film, but here she was a bit much. Again, she's not bad. Like, I honestly wanted to put her in the bad, but at the same time she was a vibe of a character. She had some like relatability, and you can understand some of the stuff she was like saying, like, oh, I'm an intern, I don't get paid to do shit around here, might as well lash out and fuck with my boss. And it's not that serious, but she's kind of annoying sometimes. We can kind of just throw her here. Plus Kat Dennings, I mean, I can give her credit and put her in the okay because she is fucking gorgeous. I'm not even trying to be like that, but dude, Kat Dennings is hot. I'm not gonna lie to you. She looks the same today as she did in this movie. Like, I was literally looking at pictures of her because I was curious, and it's like, holy fuck, dude, she looks really good, man. This thing came out 12 years ago. I mean, there you fucking have it. Also, her relationship with Ian, the intern, was forced so hard it made no sense, which is fine. I don't think it's a terrible part of the movie, but really, man, like, it's kind of like you're just sitting there like, that's how that would go? Are we serious? It's not that easy in real life. I fucking know, dude. I've dealt with these kind of things. Like, no. It's basically irrelevant to the main storyline, which is why I'm kind of putting it in the okay, but still it's like, oh, you saved my life, let's kiss. It's kind of like slutty. It kind of like ruins aspects of her character as well. Also, the whole thing with Loki even coming back to life in the first place is weird. I'm not a huge fan of plot convenience in films just like resurrecting their characters just so they can continue the storyline. But at the same time, I understand like later on his involvement with a lot of the later films. Obviously, spoiler alert, he was in Infinity War, he was in Endgame, he even was was in Thor Ragnarok, so it makes sense to like keep his character alive. It was kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. It was necessary and made sense, I guess. Plus the scene was just a great way to send off the movie, almost like a little cliffhanger that kind of sets up for the next couple of movies, which is cool as well. It does seem convenient. Again, I don't like convenience and plot that he came to life as it just goes unexplained how he did it and he doesn't appear until that scene, but still it's kind of neither good or bad, and that can go for everything in the okay. Pull up the tier list. This is review time. This is literally the first time in a video I am going to change the score. I had this originally at a 7.2 out of 10. Fuck that. This was an 8 out of 10. I think I gave the last movie like a 7.7, 7.8 out of 10. This is an 8 out of 10. This movie's really fucking good now that I'm like sitting back and digesting it. I really liked it. Originals are hard to beat. I get that. It's kind of the case here. In terms of the best film in the franchise so far, I do think it goes to Thor: The Dark World. Now, Ragnarok could come in and take that title quite easily because there's a lot of people that were hyping that up when it came out, but I don't know. Obviously, there's nothing ridiculously good, but it's still a really fun watching experience. It's good, man. I mean, it's better than the Hulk, but similar to that, which we reviewed early on, it's kind of just unoffensive. It's a formulaic film that doesn't bring anything super new to the character in terms of like tropes and action and stuff like that. And sometimes that can seem like a bad thing, but here I am fine with a simplistic, ordinary story to sit back and enjoy, and the way they tell it, the way it looks, the way it's shot, the way it's directed, written, all that stuff, everything kind of in between the lines here, looks fucking awesome, and it's amazing. I really enjoyed it. Nothing about this movie makes it one of the best MCU movies, though. I will say it's still like a middle of the pack to maybe like better half slightly. Like if there were 30 Marvel movies, it'd probably be like 13 out of 30, but it's just another one of those films, you know. It's really good. It's still a bit of a nod even saying that. So with that being said, I'm out, guys. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Again, 8 out of 10. I think this movie is pretty damn solid. Like, again, I don't think it's anything fucking fantastic, but it's a really good movie. Like 8 out of 10, that's like you're a good movie. 7 out of 10, it's like, okay, that's okay. Like, I'm fine with it. This is great. So with that being said, again, have a good rest of your day. I'm out, guys. Nice to get this actually recorded. It looks like I'm gooning down here, but I'm playing with my drawstrings.